following new developments there at the University of Utah as police move toward those protesters there. Sarah Murphy is live for us. Sarah, what are you seeing?
All right, Brian, still looking intense here. There's the newest update. A little hard to see because we're across the street, but I want to pan over. This is in front of the President's Building on the President's Circle. You're seeing a group of people in the very back. There's police. New police just came out. They have helmets on. They have police shields on. Again, they're standing over in that area right in front of the building. You're seeing a group of people. They have their phones out. Looks like there's a bit of yelling going on, an altercation with police over there. That's the latest. Police out with shields and with helmets. Again, we have heard 4 warnings from police so far tonight. We also just heard a statement from the University of Utah. While they do say students have the right to free speech and to peacefully protest, they say they don't have the right to camp here overnight. Police have come out. They've told students here that they have to take down their tents, and if they don't, police will take them. They warned physical force could be used. Again, I want to show you a look. It's a little dark here, but we're seeing 100 to 200 students standing arm in arm. They're chanting. I want to give you another listen in. Listen into this. Okay, so they're still using that chant right there. Now, again, if you remember, at around 10:03 or so, police came out. They said, you have 10 minutes to clear out. If not, if you're still here, arrests will be made. Physical force they will use. So far, they haven't come back out. It's been past that 10-minute point. But again, look over here at the police again. The latest is we've seen police come out a little bit more armed with, again, those helmets and those shields. They're lining up in the area. So far, we're waiting for them to come out, give us another warning, another message in response to that 10-minute warning from about 15 minutes ago. But again, so far, no big updates. Let's take another look over at this crowd. They have flags. They've been chanting all night. I want to remind you, they've been here since 4 o'clock today. Both the people rallying and police. They say they want the University of Utah to cut all ties with Israel. That is their big demand. They're saying they plan to stay here on campus at this sit-in, at this rally, until the university meets those demands. Again, reminding you, police have given this warning 4 times that while they have a right to their free speech, they're calling this now an unlawful assembly. They say they can't stay here overnight, but again, they're still staying. We're still seeing this large number of groups. Since the last time we talked to you, about 10 minutes ago, we haven't seen very many people leave. In fact, a few more have kind of come along. So again, Brian, still looking at this intense situation, still waiting to hear the latest from police. Again, we see those shields, we see those helmets, and right now we're waiting for further updates.
Sarah, there's some protesters there close to you. Can you talk to them right now? Can we walk up to them and ask them what they're thinking as the police get their helmets on and have their shields?
It's a good question. Let's come up over here. I just want to talk to some of these people. Can you tell the people back at home, what are you doing here tonight?
You can talk to the organizers.
The organizers are going to be the best point of contact for you.
Okay, that's good. So organizers are here. You guys are here. You've been here since 4.
For Palestine.
Yeah.
Here for Palestine.
Here for Palestine.
And
We're calling for a ceasefire for Palestine, for Gaza to be free.
And how long do you plan on staying here tonight?
As long as we need to.
Until we get an answer from the university.
And when those police come out and give those warnings, what are your thoughts on that?
They need to shut up is what I think. They need to listen to us.
Okay, so we've got a lot of emotions. Thank you for speaking with us. You've been here since 4 so far. You say you plan to be here through the night. Okay, so a lot going on here. Again, we've seen hundreds of people arm in arm across the street there. We're still seeing those officers standing in front of the President's Building. This is the building where the rally started earlier this afternoon. These marchers came from those stairs over to this field. They set up the tents, and that's where they say they'll be staying until the university meets those demands. Brian.
Can you take us any closer to where those tents are so we can get a sense of what it looks like and what police may be removing here any minute now? Are you close enough to get there?
Yeah, Brian, we'll take We'll take a walk down here. You're seeing some of these chants. This is a look inside the circle with the tents. Dozens of tents. A few hours ago, there was just one or two, but we've seen more and more tents come out. Again, one thing I also want to note is some of the organizers from Meche U of U, that's the organization putting on this rally, they told me they came prepared. They have a tent with medics. They have a rotation of people bringing meals, food, and water. They say, again, it just shows they're planning to stay here, is what they say, until the university meets those demands, Brian.
So we know that these students and other people who have come to the campus to demonstrate with them are protesting the war in Gaza. They don't like the Israeli approach, the bombing. They don't like the United States' support of Israel and the situation there. We've seen this play out at other campuses, Arizona State University, Columbia University, just to name a few. And the university sent out a statement earlier tonight letting these folks know what they could be facing if they're arrested by police tonight. For the students, the university said discipline ranging from probation and suspension and criminal trespass and disorderly conduct charges. For faculty and staff who are there too, discipline including up to termination and criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. For community members there, criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. Sarah, have the police changed their posture at all in the past minute or so? Because we saw them gearing up and sort of lighting up there in front of the building. Can you show us what they're doing now?
Yeah, I want to actually take you on a walk over here. So far, they're looking fairly similar to what they were just a few minutes ago. We haven't seen a big change in numbers. Jose is going to go ahead and show you across the street. Again, this is in front of the President's Building on University of Utah President's Circle. We're still seeing those same officers with those protective shields and helmets on. If you go to the left a little bit, Jose, you see another little pocket of officers over there. We're told there's some even further back, a little bit hard to see from here, but again, most of these officers have been here since 4 o'clock. When I talked to them earlier, I asked them how long they were going to be here. They said as long as they need to be. So again, not too much changes on those in the past few minutes. I want to remind you, they've given about 4 warnings so far in the past hour. The most recent was about 10:03 or so, where they gave that warning. You have to clear out in 10 minutes, or if you're here, we'll get rid of that tent for you. We may use physical force, and arrests will be made. You see them still lining up. We're still waiting again for that latest update. Students still standing arm in arm over here to the left, Jose. You see them, they're still waving their flags. They've been here again since 4 o'clock. We're waiting for that final update from police to see, really, Brian, what happens next.
Okay, well, Sarah, police have given those protesters a bit of a grace period. Originally, they said they were going to move in around 10:13. It is now 10:24. We haven't seen them move towards that main line of protesters yet, but we'll keep watching that situation as we go to break. We'll be right back. More coverage just ahead.